Hey guys, welcome back to the Real Deal Podcast. As always, I'm your host Keeona, and today I have Shawn and Drew with me.
Hello.
Hello.
How you guys doing?
Not too bad. How you doing? Other than the voice.
Other than the laryngitis.
Other than the laryngitis. Yeah.
I'm doing better. I'm doing better. I mean, I'm glad I'm able to talk, so that's a good sign. But I will be better next week, I promise. But
Show must go on.
the show must go on. I mean, no pain, no gain, right?
No.
But on today's show, obviously this is going to air like after Valentine's, but we are doing a Q&A, and we had the Real Deal fam have some questions that they wanted to ask or some sort of advice, and we got a good amount of questions. So let's get into it real quick if I can. Oh yeah, and by the way, I upgraded from a MacBook to an iPad, and it's pink. Like, look at that beauty.
For Valentine's Day.
Ooh, it's festive.
For
Like
Valentine's
literally,
Day.
I'm
It
like,
was planned. It was planned.
it kind of was because I'm wearing red. I got on pink
Oh,
nails.
yeah. I guess I missed by a couple months.
Oh,
Yes.
And I was gonna wear my pink scrunchie today, but I was like, looked a little too girly.
too much.
Yeah. But alrighty, we got some questions here, and just to clarify, these will be anonymous, so hopefully I don't screw up like I did last time. But the first question is it appropriate to continue contact with someone after a first date if you're not interested?
I have a strong rule about this. Absolutely not. Okay. I'm gonna sound like a dick when I say this, but I personally think that ghosting is okay
Yeah.
if and only if there is no contact after the first date. So if I go meet someone and I'm like, God, you're just a bad person, or
Yeah,
God,
for
I
sure.
don't want to. I'm just we're not vibing, whatever. If neither of us contact, I feel like that's fine. I feel like that's just read a room, take a hint a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And so if you reach out after that first date with no intent of a second,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those situations that's very high context because it just depends on where you stand with the person. Like if you just want to be friends but don't necessarily want to date, then of course, continuing some sort of contact would be fine. But if that's not the case, you could very easily lead the person on in various ways, and if they don't know that you're not interested, but you keep talking to them, they're gonna think that you are, and that can lead to some hurt feelings.
yeah, you have to be clear about the intent
Exactly,
behind
yeah.
it. If you want to stay friends,
Yeah.
I've definitely
Yeah.
been on first dates with people. I'm like, oh, you're a cool person. I just don't see you in that. I
Yeah.
won't see you in that way. And that's okay. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, you
That's
can't
okay.
force it.
Yeah.
You can't force it.
But then being clear and being yeah, this is the only way that this relationship is going to exist, is in a friend capacity.
Yeah.
I think that's fine. I think that's okay. But if you don't
Yeah.
make that clear, then
Yeah.
it's just rude. It's just
You
rude.
you should make it clear, but it's also your feelings, and you
exactly.
shouldn't feel bad about it. And the worst thing you can do is not tell them. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like where you
exactly.
so-
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when it comes to relationships in general, and it's just that communication is key. You gotta let somebody know what you're feeling, even if it's hard to tell that person. You still have to say, because you don't want to lead them on, first of all,
Right.
and secondly, you don't want them to get mixed feelings about that one person or the other person. So and just be upfront with them, because if you truly don't really feel something with this person, after the first date or just other dates going forward, if you feel hey, we should just be friends, that's cool. Or if you feel I don't see this going forward, just tell them. I mean, it's better to tell them now rather than
Yeah.
later.
for sure.
And I do think that sometimes, especially when you've been dating someone for a while, you sometimes have to figure that out as you are doing that. But a first date, if you want to talk to someone,
Right.
Yeah.
if you want to spend time with someone. So to answer the question, no, it is not okay. No, it's not.
Even though you just said ghosting is okay.
I after a first date, I do. I think that ghosting is okay, just because it just saves an awkward conversation with someone you've met once. I understand that if it's a third or fourth date, Absolutely. You
Yeah.
deserve at least a text or
And-
at least a hey,
Yeah.
you know, I'm just not feeling this.
You'll both know if there's going to be another date too.
Really.
Like it's
yeah.
you'll know. You don't think so?
I mean, it just depends. I mean, like if that guy or girl is good with communication, because you can go on a first date with somebody and it can be great, but then like sometimes you can't really tell whether or not if you're gonna get a second date, and if that person is like he's just like he's not good with communication, being like, and then you have to text that person, be like, so are we gonna have a second date or what? And then
Yeah.
That's definitely a different way of looking at it, because from my perspective, I was like, you go on this first date with this person and you can just feel that it's going one way or the other.
Yeah.
And so even if you don't like verbally say, hey, you want to go on a second date, I feel like it's kind of understood whether that's going to happen or not.
Right.
Yeah, so it can be like a vibe thing for some people, but then like some other scenarios and situations, it can be like you just can't tell.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think there's definitely something to be said for like, and that's exactly why I think like ghosting after a first date is okay.
Yeah.
Because if there's communication after that, then that's implied that like, oh, I enjoyed being around you enough
Yeah.
to at least want to like text you again or message you again or like have some sort of like genuinely some sort of contact with you again.
I'm sorry, I just got another question.
Oh, is there another question that popped up? But I think that like if you do that, then you're implying that like, oh, I want to see them again, even if you don't. And that to me, that there lies the issue.
Yeah.
That was a long road to get there, guys.
Yeah, but okay, but next question is, how do you meet people if you don't like dating apps? This is so me, because especially in this day and age, like there's an app for everything, and sometimes like the internet can be a nasty whirlpool, I will say that. And I've tried dating apps before, but then I chickened out like right after 10 minutes. And I'm personally more old school, just being able to like go up to somebody and have a conversation with them. And if I sense like a vibe or if I sense something good, then I'll be like, hey, you want to like keep this going? And then like if they ask me out, they ask me out, and if they don't, they don't. At least I tried talking to somebody. But I think it just depends on what your preference is, just because everybody's different and everybody knows what they want in a relationship. So, on how to meet somebody, I mean, like, I will say this, if you're going on a dating app, just make sure that you are very cautious of the fact, because people have a way of pretending to be one person, and then you'll end up seeing that they're not who they say they are.
Oh, they're complete strangers.
Yeah.
They are complete strangers, and that is something. But that's part of the fun of a dating app is like I'm getting to know someone completely new.
Yeah.
But also that's scary. Like you're just with someone completely new.
Exactly why I don't do those.
Exactly, and so it's if you are comfortable with that, then
Yeah.
sure. But I know a lot of people are not.
Yeah, it's totally up to you. Whatever you want to do. If you want to go out and meet new people, like at a birthday party or like, at a school event or whatever that may be, you can go for it too. But if you like the anticipation of just talking to somebody on a dating app, that's totally fine too. I would just say just be careful.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of psychos and crazies out there when it comes to online dating.
In terms of how to meet someone not on a dating app, though.
Well, I was thinking just get involved in your
Yeah.
school. Just get involved. I mean, try not to skip class. If you're trying to meet people, try to like
Don't
leave
do
the
that.
dorm first. You know what I mean?
Don't do that.
And so it can be challenging, but yeah, just getting involved and coming from someone that it can be very difficult for myself to, put myself out there to meet people. And
I mean, I think that would be like for almost anybody who's trying to like,
Yeah.
put themselves out there, or like,
like it's very easy just to stay cooped up and
Yeah.
in your comfort zone or whatever. But I think just once you start making those first steps, it'll become easier and easier. And
Yeah, putting yourself out there is so scary. I mean,
Yeah.
it is, but it can be so worth it.
I think kind of, Shawn, to your point, making an effort to like put yourself in that scenario.
Yeah.
Like, in particular, like I think like going to a place where like you do an activity among a large group of people is like a really good way to meet someone.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Yeah.
I don't have an example of that off the top of my head, but like I don't know, going to like a bar or going to a restaurant or even like an amusement park or something. Like that's a decent way because everyone is kind of in this shared experience.
Exactly.
You immediately have a level playing ground. You can immediately start like, oh, like what do you think of XYZ? Because you have immediately something in common.
Yeah. Or sometimes even like electives you take. You'll know that it's not just a core class. Like you're taking this because they might have been interested in it. And so, there's an icebreaker right there. And, if you want to approach someone, whether it's for a relationship or not, you don't be over the top with them. Just what brings you here, or what brought you to Ball State? Just not creepy things.
Yeah.
Don't be weird.
Just
don't be weird.
Don't be weird. Just show that you're actually you look at them as a human being. So.
Yeah, being like, hey, what's up, or something like
Yeah,
that.
don't be weird.
But that leads me to my next question: best way to attract someone.
Ooh.
Just go ooh.
I don't know.
I think honestly the best way is just being confident.
Yeah.
There is the old not saying, but there's the old mindset that oh, you might not be everybody's type, but you'll be someone's type. And honestly, I think that's true. Just in conversations I've had outside of this, it's everyone can find someone, and so it's just a matter of being confident in who you are as a person to then attract the right person.
And you'll show that in your demeanor, body language, whatever, and people can sense that. You could leave your house, leave in the dumbest outfit ever, like Lady Gaga's meat suit or whatever.
Hey.
But if you're wearing it proudly,
That was iconic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's cool, but I'm just saying.
But just to wear it a 9 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday class.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. But if you walk out of there and you know what you're doing, you're confident, people won't care. It'll be honorable.
Yeah,
that is true.
Just be comfortable in your own skin, which
that's
a whole conversation
and that's
in itself.
Yeah.
In itself,
Yeah.
and then you attract the right people.
Oh, Drew, you have a girlfriend, right?
No, simply no.
I thought you did, but
No.
John?
No. Valentine's Day was rough for me.
Thank you. Thank you. I am not alone. It's been a long time for me.
Yeah. I was just gonna bring up I actually had a first experience with a dating app.
Okay.
The day before Valentine's Day, and it was awful. It was not. I'm not gonna give any details, but
Just leave it at that.
we were supposed to get food and we didn't. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not ready to throw in the towel yet. I think I want to give it
That's
another
fair.
go, courtesy of Owen's support. So.
Aww. I mean, that's me too. I mean, it's been a while since I've dated, and I've been talking to a few people, but then as much as I miss the person that I was with and everything, I can't wait on that forever. So I owe it to myself to at least go out there and meet new people, and it's been worth it for me because I've been talking to a lot of new people and everything, and nothing's happening, but at least I am talking and putting myself out there.
Right.
But, okay, but next question, how do you define different stages of a relationship? See, this question kind of confused me because I'm just is there a way to
That's communication.
Yeah.
That's I feel like that just comes down to communication.
Yeah. And it just depends on the relationship that you're in and how you guys want to set stages for how you guys want to base your relationship.
How, kind of going off this question, how do you guys feel about the exclusive stage where you're not in a relationship but you're also not dating anyone else?
Oh, I'm all or nothing. You either want to date me or you don't.
Okay.
Because if you want to be with me, then you would have to make the effort to want to be with me.
You have to make the
Yeah,
commitment.
exactly.
Yeah,
If it's what's the difference between it being exclusive and you guys just being together?
So a lot of people that I've talked to who have done an exclusive stage will do it they'll be talking for a while, they'll be dating for a while, and then they'll move and oh, we're exclusive, meaning that they want to test run being in a relationship, but without the explicit seriousness of being in a relationship.
So I guess I have tried that before, but it hasn't always gone well. So.
I haven't because because like I've always said this, like if you want to be with me, then just say it, or like just make the effort. But if you're like not really sure about it, then you just let me know. If you're thinking about somebody else, or if like I mean, nothing's wrong with testing the waters just to make sure where you are, but then at the same time, like, if they're having, like, a certain inkling about being like, oh, this is not going to work, or then you need to let me know so that, whatever you want to do, that's your business, and then if you don't want to try this, then just go on with your life, and I'm okay with that.
I also know a lot of people have done the exclusive stage when they've been dating for like a month, and they're like, well, this feels like not enough time to, like, dive into a relationship. And so they'll say, like, oh, we're just exclusive. And I don't know how I feel about that, because like the other thing is like I don't know if there's like a good rule of thumb for like you need to be dating for X amount of time before you can put a label on things. Or
I don't think it's one of those things where you like Google, you Google and you're like
WikiHow.
Like when do I break up with this person?
Yeah, because every relationship has a shelf life.
Okay.
Oh, so, until death, or just.
I mean, it just depends on like wait, that didn't come out as well as I thought. But I'm just saying, like, it just depends on, like, like I said, it just depends on the two people who are in the relationship.
Right.
And then, and let time run its course in the relationship. But, I don't know. See, this question confused me, so I was just like, okay. So if I worded that wrong to anybody out there who might have, like, misinterpreted that, I truly apologize, because I'm confused by the question as it is. But, real quick, I want to get into this next question before I say something that is completely wrong. But, well, it's kind of like an advice question. I have been friends with this girl, and I've talked with her every day for about a year. We are really great friends, but I really want to go out with her. How do I ask her out without damaging our friendship?
Oh, and we only have 2 minutes to answer this question.
I almost cursed, too. I was like...
Tell her, and if she can't be friends with you after you told her, then she was never a good friend in the first place.
I mean, the worst she could say is no.
Well, the worst she could say is no, and then I don't want to be your friend.
I think
if we are really considering all the options,
it just depends on how.
I think there has to be some analysis internally of, is this friendship worth that risk? Like, do I value this friendship enough to risk losing
for sure.
And if you guys are good enough friends and you guys have been comfortable about talking about anything, then like I would say tell her, but then I don't know, I feel like I need more context.
Like if it's a really, really, did it say it was a close friend? What is a?
It says we've been really great friends.
Really great friends. So like if it's like someone you see like once or twice a week, then like maybe it's worth the risk. But if it's like someone you're like, oh, I see them every day, and like we spend hours upon hours together, well, A, at that point, it's like maybe someone's already there anyways. But B, like you need to decide for yourself if losing that part of your life is worth is worth what you could gain.
And I think it really like it just comes down to the delivery too, because you could be close with them and be like, I know you probably don't feel the same way, but this is how I feel, and that's
presenting it as I want you to know this.
Yeah, it's
I not that I don't care how you respond, but I just feel a need to tell you this.
Yeah, and I am all about taking a leap of faith at any point where you feel like you need to take it. And if you want to take that leap of faith, then just go for it. But then, like, I don't know, I'm kind of with you both on what you've all said, because I can't even come up with a response myself, because I feel like I would need more context.
Yeah.
Well, what I was saying at the beginning is, like, if they don't want to be your friend anymore after you told them how you feel, then I feel like there's an issue there, because if they were just respectful about it and like, if you don't feel this way, then that's completely fine. But, if you're weird about it, then that's a different story.
Yeah.
Like, okay, then.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. If they're going to be like really weird about it, then
and,
like, were they really that good a friend to begin with?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I get it. Okay, I see y'all scrolling that up. But unfortunately, we are out of time. But I want to thank you both for joining me today.
Of course, this was very fun. Thank you.
And for bearing through with me. It's a lot. But I promise that I will be back to my normal voice next week. Hopefully, fingers crossed so that I don't have to keep using text to talk all the time. But thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.